Hey, it's SickBoy from the Gaming Anarchist Collective and welcome to the Anarchic Eye for the 19th of November 2013. Well, in a move probably surprising nobody, Microsoft have explained that Twitch integration in the Xbox One will be delayed until 2014. The reason for which is it's not ready. Because, let's face it, neither of the two big competitors were actually ready for the launch of their next-gen systems. Neither of them, because neither of them had their systems in place. None of them had their software updated, none of them had all their firmware up to date. Clearly, they were not ready. Neither Sony nor Microsoft. Thanks again just to prove that early adoption is a dumb move unless you have that money to throw away. Because you are taking a substantial risk with your money. So, there we go. So if you are getting an Xbox One and you're looking forward to Twitch integration, you're going to be looking into next year before that's going to be available for you guys. Well, Sony have somewhat moved their goalposts with regards to the PlayStation 4 failure rate. They previously estimated that it was 0.4%. They're now saying that now they've got more data in, they're saying it is below 1%. Now that means that there were 1 million PlayStation 4s sold in the US. Okay? That means 10,000 gamers bought their PlayStation, opened the box, set it up, and the thing was fucked. Now that is, as far as Sony are concerned, an acceptable failure rate. A 1% failure rate is within acceptable parameters for a large retail launch. But of course, you need to bear in mind that that means there are 10,000 human beings who are fucking livid, and rightfully so. Sony, you really screwed up here when what you could have done is kept an overflow, as I said yesterday. What you do is you bring stock in from your scabby Foxconn bastards who, with their little slave labour people, and take it and you sell 99% of your inventory. You retain 1% as rolling stock. You bring in more, put aside 1%, sell the 1% you stored. Keep doing that. You have set aside stock in order to deal with any redundant units. That will keep your consumers happy. That will make your failure, make your hardware failure, pretty much go away in the public eye. If you say, if it's broken, take it back to the store, they'll ship it back to us, we will send them one. Well, in fact, they should even say, right, all stores, you have to keep 5 in stock at all times. There are things you can do to maintain your supply chain in order to stop this issue happening, especially when it's a high demand product. People have bought it in advance. Some of the people, they pre-ordered back at E3. They've got it, it's broken. They now have to wait to February. Now that's not fair on that consumer, Sony. You really should have put more measures in place. Even though it's a small number, that is still 10,000 human beings who are rightfully pretty pissed with you. Well, in a good call from Sony, they have explained that you can now pre-order PlayStation Plus exclusive content. Now those are the exclusive deals, not the exclusive content. So much so that there are free games with the PlayStation 4 that you get with your PS Plus. Now those are timed exclusives, but once you have them for as long as your PlayStation Plus subscription lasts. Now of course, if you wanted to buy your PlayStation 4 next year or the year after, but you have a PlayStation Plus membership with your PlayStation 3, you may feel you're getting a bit gypped by being cautious and waiting and being lured in by the free games that they're offering at launch. Now what they're saying is that you can go onto their online marketplace on your internet browser, not on your PS3, and you can pre-order that content, and that will be associated with your account, and when you get a PlayStation 4, you will get access to that content as part of your PS Plus subscription. That, I think, is a very, very good call. Well, it's like a yo-yo with Sony today. Gran Turismo 6, it has now been confirmed that the microtransactions in the game, which I think is a fucking travesty, because I personally loved playing Gran Turismo and spending the time to unlock the cars takes fucking forever, and it's the beauty of that game. It's almost a never-ending bloody game, and what they're saying is that the microtransactions will be in order to buy in-game money. The in-game money is to buy cars. Now, there has been no say as to whether anything will be locked behind a specific microtransaction paywall that you can't earn the money while playing the game. And it's again one of those issues as, is microtransactioning for cheats okay? And certainly if it's a case of you're microtransactioning for exclusive content, that is bullshit. You should be able to unlock it with play. But it raises the question, when it comes to microtransactions for speeding through the game. Now, I'm not going to do that. I think that's a waste of damn time. I don't see the point. If I beat the game, I beat the game. If I don't, I don't. I don't assign some kind of pride to it. So not having unlocked all the cars is not some kind of issue for me. And people saying it's about the time required, well then, I would say that if you're just rushing to the end, you're not enjoying your experience. You should be playing the game. So microtransactions was pretty much inevitable, but it is somewhat of a real dick move. I really hate to see one of the few driving series that I've spent significant amount of time in my life playing, to see it go the way of microtransactions just makes me feel grubby. Well, for those of you who needed reminding or have not heard this before, Ubisoft have come out and explained their franchise-focused model for making games. In an interview, they covered a couple of things that are worthy of note. One is that they have clearly stated that with regards to Assassin's Creed 4, that the game will be pretty much identical on the PC, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4 and PS3. They've said that they didn't want to put any resources into making the game significantly different because they knew that most titles will be sold on the current gen. So it does somewhat raise the question of if you were looking to get a next-gen system in order for a big Ubisoft title like Assassin's Creed, is it really worth it? Because the version on the current gen consoles and on the PC is not going to be significantly lagging behind the next-gen system. It's going to have everything in there. They're going to try and make the game as identical as they can. The difference being the fidelity will be somewhat higher on the next-gen consoles, I'm sure. There's a video that's in the link where they show the games together and you can see a quality difference. But does it mean the gameplay is any different? No, they didn't design it that way. They have confirmed, however, as the generation goes on, that they will not be able to do that because they'll be tapping in to the power of... They'll be developing natively on the Xbox One and the PS4, not on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. So, good news to PC people, they're actually going to up their game a little bit. That's nice, isn't it? But that will mean that the current gen consoles will no longer be getting their titles, or if they will, they'll be significantly stripped back in features, whereas right now they are essentially the same thing. They have also claimed that they are willing to withhold Watch Dogs for as long as basically possible in order to make sure the game is good, because they really, really want this title to fly as a franchise, which does mean that there will be if this comes out and they're going to have to release it at some point when it comes out, there will be a Watch Dogs 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So that is the thing. They will be doing franchises. That is how they focus on their game development now. They claim that the development cycle is too expensive and therefore they need to come up with a franchise and just refine it on an annual or biannual basis. So, for those of you who weren't aware, that is entirely how Ubisoft do business. Now, that's a personal opinion as to whether you think that's a good thing or not. I mean, you could argue that constantly refining the same game that you enjoy may bring you a great deal of satisfaction. However, if you're looking for a standalone quality experience, then there's the argument of, well, if I miss one or two, what's really missed? And certainly if with regards to Assassin's Creed, they're going to phase out the actual story because they don't feel like an overarching story actually benefits them with regards to a franchise. But again, that comes down to a matter of personal taste. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. You're looking through the 2020 vision of the Anarchic Eye. I'll catch you guys later.